We've been doing this a long time, so it's not very often that we see something we've never seen before.
Ooh.
I don't think I've ever seen before a Tar Heel score 2 goals in 8 seconds. I didn't even know that was physically possible to do.
Yeah.
So when Martin Vician did that a couple weeks ago against Florida International, we immediately said, send up the bat signal. We need Martin on the pod, and he's here. Martin, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me on.
Okay, so this is what got you here. 2 goals in 8
Nothing else
seconds.
you've ever done but this moment.
How does someone score 2 goals in 8 seconds?
Yeah, so the thing is, I scored the first one, and then the time got stopped, right? After each goal, and then right after we scored, we just kept pushing. I think Kafa got the ball on the right, passed it forward, and then all of a sudden I was in front of the goal, and there was my second goal in 8 seconds.
Look, Martin knows to do with it when the ball's in front of the goal.
How demoralizing is that for the other team?
The thing is that it was very important for us.
Because you're down, right?
Yeah, we were down 1-0. And the thing is that last season, I don't know if you guys remember, but we were sort of struggling with having those checkout moments when we scored. But this year, I think we turned that mentality around. And looking back, I mean, we scored the first one and we kept going, kept pushing, and we got rewarded with the second goal. So it was even more important. Obviously, I was happy that I helped the team, but it was even more important for the team moving forward that we can sort of like go back to the sequence and be like, yeah, this is the reward that we get if we keep going.
So the floodgates have opened a bit here, scoring-wise. It was 11 goals in the last 3 matches, I think.
Something
that's
like
right.
that. Yeah.
What's working right now?
Offensively, I think last game against St. John's wasn't our best, to be honest. But the games before, we found those combinations. It worked out well. It worked naturally, I should say. And we scored 6 goals against ETSU, 3 goals against FIU, even 2 goals against St. John's, and now a big game against Duke on Friday.
You score a lot of goals on headers, partially because you're tall. I can now.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of people try to score goals on headers, but not that many people are really good at it. What's the key to being good at it?
I think it's about concentration, honestly. I mean, obviously it's about reps and like repetitions and preparations, but for me, it's also about just being focused on the ball, trying to hit it well, and be in that moment. I try to do the right movement. We have some movements practiced, so we know where we should end up, especially if we have corner or set piece from the side. But then, like, it comes down to being focused and just try to hit it on target. Yeah.
Are you a head it down, one bounce kind of guy, or like a rocket it off your head into the corner?
Rocket it off.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. None of that bouncing mess. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a very unique path to Carolina. For folks who maybe don't know you or don't know about you personally, just take us through kind of how you got to Chapel Hill.
Yeah, so I spent 4 years at Harvard, had a great time there, but unfortunately my first year at Harvard I got injured and missed the whole season, and the second year, because of COVID, the whole conference didn't play a single game. Yeah. So that's why I got 2 years back of eligibility that I'm now using here, which is awesome. So played my junior and senior year at Harvard, and then I got an opportunity to extend my college soccer career here at UNC, and it's been awesome ever since. Yeah.
For those of us who've never spent a lot of time at Harvard but have preconceived notions, tell us something about Harvard that we might not know.
I mean, it's one of the best institutions, academic institutions in the world. As I said, had a great time there, learned a lot, but both athletically and academically, I improved a lot. Soccer-wise, I mean, the program is on a come up. The whole coaching staff there is doing a tremendous job. I think last year they finished second in the conference. So they're doing a great job there. And academically, I mean, the classes I took, the professors that I had a chance to communicate with, to connect with, it's an opportunity that I'm forever grateful for sure.
What was it about Carolina when you were looking for those extra couple years?
Yeah, so I entered the transfer portal with hope to transfer to maybe a more competitive conference, let's say. And UNC reached out. I was super excited to have an opportunity to come here. Got in touch with coach. I knew him before because we were talking about coming here for undergrads. So there was that connection before, but this time it worked out. And then I ended up here, and it's been great. Yeah.
Pre-Harvard, you're originally from Slovakia.
Yeah.
Now, listeners may not have a preconceived notion of Slovakia.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about it. What should we know?
Yeah, it's a small country in Central Europe, 5.5 million, I think. We're bordering Austria, Czech Republic, Ukraine, Poland, Hungary, and I'm from Bratislava, from the capital, which is in the western part. So I'm close to Vienna, to Prague, even pretty close to Germany. Played there until I was 20 or 19, something like that, and then I decided to move to the U.S.
What are the give us like some cultural differences between Bratislava and Chapel Hill, if there are any?
There are, for sure there are. So we, like when it comes to universities, right? So we don't really have campuses. Most of the students live either at home or in dormitories, but it's not like a huge campus. We don't have those. And then I don't know. I mean, obviously food. I mean, cuisine is different. So I mean, right now I've been in the U.S. for 6 years, so I don't really pay much attention to that difference anymore. What else?
What food in the U.S. were you like, this is legit? Like, this is, we got to get this in Bratislava.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That crosses all borders. There's no question about
absolutely.
that.
Give us a couple of underrated European travel cities.
Okay, I'm just going to stop Adam right here. He is doing this for personal gain so that he can,
right.
so that
I
he
can
can
then
know
go there.
that he can do his summer in Europe next summer and know where to go.
Yeah,
I've got an expert sitting right here. I'd be silly not to ask.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
See?
So the thing about Bratislava, the city I'm from, is that a lot of the tourists kind of miss that city because if they travel to that part of Europe, they would go to Prague, Vienna, and Budapest, but they would miss Bratislava. I still think Bratislava is a beautiful city. It's a small, obviously smaller compared to Prague or Vienna or even Budapest, but there are some cool cities. Our old town is beautiful. Our castle there is really, really nice.
That's kind of a Homer answer, Martin. I'm not gonna, I mean, you're just going straight hometown on that one.
I mean, obviously Prague is beautiful. I mean,
Okay.
you guys probably heard about Prague a lot. So that's a beautiful city, but obviously I'm going to recommend Bratislava first.
What if I don't speak the language? Am I going to be able to get along in Bratislava?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, English is one of the languages that most of the people in Bratislava speak. So
Plus, if I'm wearing my Martin Vician
Yeah,
shirt,
that's right.
I'd be like, aha, yes, my friend.
Right. We all know. We all have a common thread here.
Yeah.
That all makes sense.
yeah.
When did you know, like, were you like running through the streets of Bratislava playing soccer when you were small? Like when did this start for you?
It started basically ever since I can remember. My older brother played soccer.
Do you call it soccer or football? Like, is it hard for you to say soccer?
I call it soccer when I'm here, but when I'm back home, I
You're
call it
being nice to
football.
us, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I started playing when I was like 5 or 6. As I said, my older brother already played soccer, so it was pretty fluent, natural for me to start playing the sport. Then I played for Slovan Bratislava, which is like the biggest team in Slovakia. Played until I was 19, the whole academy, and then I moved here to the U.S. Yeah.
What was it about the opportunity to come to the U.S. that was worth making such a big leap? I mean, clearly a great opportunity, but also there are some things I would think to be concerned about.
The biggest thing for me was the combination of academics and soccer. I mean, back in Europe, I would have to make the decision to either keep studying, enroll in some university, or keep playing and try to be professional. Here in the US, the programs allow me to do both. And then I reached out to a bunch of programs with little hope. I mean, I didn't know much about soccer programs back when I was 19. And then I got interest from some good schools. So I found myself in that process and spent 4 years at Harvard and 2 years here, which is awesome. And I'm grateful for that.
They're probably, I'm guessing, they didn't come watch you play in Slovakia. So did you just put together a video and just send it out and hope for the best?
Yeah, so the video I put together, highlights, and then I also played for the national team. So most of my games were live streamed and on YouTube. So that was pretty easy to watch me playing. So yeah, that helped me a lot.
Okay, you're 25, is that right?
25, yeah.
Okay, so you're 25. You got some 18-year-old teammates.
I do.
So that's a significant just gap in maturity. How do you try to make sure that you can get along with everybody of all ages? Yeah,
I mean, I understand that I'm more experienced. I definitely take responsibility on and off the field. But at the same time, I think I'm pretty good at connecting with anyone, regardless of the age. So yeah, we have 18-year-olds. I'm not sure if 17, if someone, but probably just 18. But I mean, it's fine. I mean, I can connect with anyone. I don't feel like I'm like, oh, like I'm 6 years old or like there's like, yeah. Maybe like when it comes to like. When we face some adversity on the field, like during the game, like I understand that I'm more responsible and like more experienced, so like I can maybe use that experience to kind of help the team move forward.
Sure.
But at the same time, like off the field, but even on the field, when it comes to connecting with guys, I mean, there's no problem at all. Yeah.
Not just in age, but in kind of cultural background. These last few years, Carolina men's soccer has had just an amazing mix of guys from all over the world, really.
Yeah.
Who's somebody or something that you feel like you've learned more about here at Carolina that if your paths hadn't crossed for the Tar Heels, this probably would have never happened?
Kafa, I would say. Argentinian guy, great friend of mine, also international. So there are many aspects that we can connect on. So yeah, I learned a lot about Argentina. He's a huge Messi fan, so I learned a lot about Messi. He's from the same city as Messi is from. So yeah, probably the guy I wouldn't have met if I didn't come here.
All right, I think I ask every single soccer player this question. I don't care; it's a good question. So PKs, like what's going through your mind? Do you like chart your PK? Like, do you think, okay, I did top right last time? I mean, is that something you're keeping a mental Rolodex of? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so I took a couple at this point. So I don't want to just have one place
Sure.
to put my PKs. I try to change that. But then it comes to like mental games, right? Like obviously those goalkeepers on the other side, they scout me. They know how I try to take a pen. But again, like everyone can score a pen. So it comes down really concentration, being fully focused on the ball, and just pick a spot and just place it in the net.
Do you do the like slow run up thing, or do you just go up and kick it?
I just go up and kick it.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. No need for these games pre-kick.
I usually take a couple of PKs before a game, like practice before a game. So I try to pick a spot, but yeah, to be honest, for example, my first PK against UAB, I changed that like 10 seconds before I took a pen. So sometimes you just like have that feeling and instinctively you want to change the side. So I did that, and luckily I scored, yeah.
We've had some mixed reviews on this from men's and women's soccer players. Do you think it's cheating for the keeper to put the scouting report on the water bottle?
I don't think it's cheating. I mean, whatever helps them. I mean, I don't really pay much attention to what a keeper is doing. I mean, they like the trash talking, and obviously they can do that. They are allowed to do that. But for me, it's I just want to be focused. I'm not listening to whatever they're saying. I mean, yeah. I mean, I took one against Hofstra last year. Obviously, the keeper was trash talking, but
what? The Hofstra keeper was trash talking?
Yeah, I mean, but every keeper does that. I mean, it's like normal.
Do you ever trash talk?
Not when I take a PK.
Do you ever trash talk? Period.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, it's part of the game, right?
I
Sometimes.
feel like your trash talking would be like very gentlemanly sounding, though. Like, I mean, I'm not sure I would think it was intense with your accent.
Yeah, I mean that changes when a center back is from Croatia, for example, or like he understands like a few words, right? So like I can connect those words with, I know he understands, so I can use my own language, which is always nice.
Nice.
And usually the ref has no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
No.
He probably
Could be
thinks.
like, good job, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the tone, sometimes like he knows that I'm not saying that good job, or like you did that well. So
Have you ever gotten a red card?
no.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe when I was like young, like 14, 15, for 2 yellows, but not in college, not that I can remember.
I like that.
I don't see
Keeping
that
it classy on and off the field.
Yeah. I
That's
don't
how
see
we
that
do
happening.
it. Yeah. Okay. New substitution rules this year, right?
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this?
It's just a new rule, and we just have to like play according to the rule, right? I mean, we're not gonna change it. So
Sure.
The way I look at it is that it changes a little bit. I mean, oftentimes coaches use that break in the second half that we would play, like especially strikers, because they are demanding a lot from strikers in terms of running, especially. So yeah, they would use that break, like they would like take us out for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then we would come back and finish the game. This year they can't do that, which is like okay. I mean, it's just a new rule. So we've been doing that the whole spring for our off-season games, and yeah, I think it's been working fine. Yeah.
Tar Heels open ACC play tonight at Duke. Are you familiar with Cascada?
No.
You will be by
Yeah.
the end of this evening.
Yeah, they like to play it, but it's all right. It's a song. It's terrible.
Okay.
But you don't worry about it. All y'all got to do is just shut them down and you won't hear
As
it.
soon as you hear it and you're like, this is horrific. What is this? That's Cascada.
Yeah, that'll probably be it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Just know if you hear something terrible, that's probably what it is.
Cool. Okay. I'll remember that.
All right. What is important, not just tonight, but moving forward, what's important for you guys to get where you want to go this year?
So for us, it's the focus on the process, not the product, right? So we want to go game by game. Next game is Duke. Then I think we played NC State. So just being focused on every game, trying to win every game. We are definitely capable of winning every game. We are confident. So keeping that up, working hard on and off the field, practice, games, keeping the standard high, and yeah. So that's I think the biggest thing for us moving forward.